Brizy. Breeze? I don't know exactly how to say it, but I'm starting to learn how to use it, and I'm really starting to like it. And that is the new page builder. Let's just call it Brizy going forward from ThemeFuse. And in this video, I'm going to give you my first impressions of both the free page builder as well as their pro page builder, which they are still developing and still offering a once-in-a-lifetime deal where you can get it for one price for unlimited websites and unlimited clients as well if you're going into the web design industry. Hey there. I'm John from IncomeMesh.com, and I like to make conversion-focused WordPress videos to help you improve your conversions and your life with your online business. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and dive right into Brizy. And what I've done to prepare this video is spun up a brand new WordPress installation with absolutely nothing on it. And what we're going to do together here is we're going to dive in and install Brizy, first the free version, and kind of mess around with that a little bit together. And then we'll go into the paid version and kind of show you my impressions and my first initial review of this product. Now, this is probably going to be one of those videos that is a saga where I kind of go through several updates. They're updating this frequently. As you can see here, the free version was updated only 2 days ago, and it currently has 30,000 plus active installations with a 4.5-star review across 43 different reviews. So you can tell they're doing a lot of things right to be getting that so quickly. So here we go. We have the page builder installed. So what we're going to do is go into pages, and let's just make a new page. So you'll notice I'm running kind of snappy here because it's on my local machine, so there won't be a whole lot of loading time to deal with here. So what we're going to do is title this new page Easy Brizy Page Builder Review. And as you could expect from a lot of page builders, it gives you that button there where you can kind of transform your page building experience from the default WordPress into the Brizy page builder. So here you go. When you're presented with this view, you've got nothing but a blank canvas. And that's kind of weird. If you're used to using page builders like Divi or like Thrive, you're kind of used to seeing a lot more stuff involved. Here you only have one clean vertical sidebar with a few menu options there and this big kind of blue plus button here. So let's go ahead and go into plus, and you can see here this is very similar to Kartra. If you've seen any of my previous videos on Kartra, where they're very kind of block and section focused, where you can pull in an entire set of modules and icons and things all in one fell swoop. So let's find a nice kind of hero section here. It's a nice hero section. And in one click, I was able to load the background image. I was able to load that padding of 250 pixels between the top of the screen and the header. You can notice here, it's extremely easy. I'm just clicking once, and I've got a front-end page editor here. Only with Brizy. One thing that's kind of interesting is you notice this, the technology just kind of feels a little lighter, a little easier to use than other things we were used to in the past. Part of the reason for that is Brizy is built on the React engine, and I'm not the super geek that knows exactly what all that means, but what they've said on their own documentation is React is the same technology being used behind Facebook's user interface. So they're using the latest and greatest of technology, which is one of the benefits of kind of keeping your eyes open to the landscape as more of these page builders pop up. I know between Divi and Thrive Architect and Beaver Builder and Elementor, it seems like there's no end in sight to these things, but they continue to evolve upon each other, which I think is really, really great. So as we're presented with this first section here, let's go ahead and add a few sections and then take a look at some of the features within Brizy. We'll add this section here. You know what I really should have done? I should have added a dark section in between. And what's kind of cool is you'll notice here, kind of similar to Gutenberg, where you have different blocks. You can insert blocks very easily. And as we look up here, you have the ability to save blocks to your template. So if you design something just that you like, you can save it for reuse later. You can also make it a global block. And this is similar to the the symbols in Thrive and the global items in Divi. So they're holding course there. But what's nice here is you can quickly transpose this from light to dark, and now you can kind of easily go in and give a nice flow to your content here. See that? It's pretty nice. So now let's talk colors here for just a second. One thing that's pretty cool, and this was very, I think, very unique to Brizy when they first came out with it, but like I just said, there's a ton of competition in the space here. So this has really picked up and become a bit more uniform across the page building space. But that is that around global color management. So here you can see this little pyramid icon is a green icon, and you've got several different colors down here to choose from. But if we wanted to change all the places where we see green across the website, it's as easy as changing the color here. Let's make it a nice little pink. And let's say, let's take that one back real quick. So you can see here we have, oops, let's go to this icon and change the color of the icon. So these are global colors here. And if you want to adjust the global color itself, you can click on the gear, and then you can see that this green is a global across the entire page. Or really it's across your entire theme and your entire WordPress installation if you have multiple pages. So if I adjust from here, you can see I am now changing any place where that green color existed. I'm making that green color pink, which I think is a huge efficiency gain for the page builder. And I think that if you have client websites, one of the challenges that clients often have is, let's just say they're not the most steadfast in their decisions around colors, right? They think, I want this to be red, I want this to be blue. Then all of a sudden they flip-flop it, and then it's a mess for you as the developer to go and kind of keep up with what they're thinking there. So I think that's a really good implementation of color management. What other things are nice? Just small little things like being able to change the column layout. I know Thrive Architect does a good job with this as well, but I think there's other things that make Thrive a bit more challenging to use sometimes, and getting things to look just right can be a little bit difficult on that page builder. It is, however, still the page builder that I personally use and recommend at this time because it's so heavily conversion focused. Okay, let's kind of move on here. Let's make some adjustments within this. So if we wanted to move this icon between these two colors, or these two sections of text, it's as easy as dragging and dropping them around, which I think is great. You can drag and drop the text as well, which is interesting because they're doing a very good job of kind of figuring out, do you want to click and drag to select text or to click and drag to move it? So I'm kind of clicking through, and let's say I wanted to adjust technologies. I can double click, and then I'm in kind of the text editing mode. But if I wanted to move it around, just clicking and dragging, it's able to really parse through what I'm trying to do as the user, and is really kind of meeting me halfway there, which is making it very easy for me, which I really, really appreciate that. So another feature I want to talk about real quick is we mentioned color management as a global scale here. You have the same feature set with font management. So if we go over here to this kind of styling icon, this little paintbrush, you can see here you've got paragraphs, subtitles, above titles, and heading ones. And what you can see is that each one of these can be universally controlled. So let's just kind of see and get an idea what this text is. I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to realize this is a heading 5. So what that means is I can, if I want to adjust where all the heading 5s are, like this should also be heading 5, what I can do is instead of changing each one of these, I can go to my paintbrush here, and let's find heading 5. And here, this is Montserrat. If I wanted to change it to Playfair Display, boom. Now, every place where I had a heading 5 has all just auto-magically been changed to Playfair Display. So again, just a small little thing, but so useful. I'm currently running the latest version of the Pro software that was just released, I think today or yesterday. And in that release, they've added the right-click functionality, which gives you a lot of kind of just normal things you would expect. But for being a new page builder, it's awesome that they have this kind of working almost as well as some of the other big players in the space. For example, I still don't think that Thrive Architect has implemented the right-click functionality, which it's it may be more of a novelty, but it's one of those things that allows the user to just interact with the tool the way they want to, the way they're used to, which I think is obviously is the right thing to do from a builder perspective. The other thing is I can only see this functionality grow because if you look at how Divi, for example, how they use their page builder and their right-click functionality, they've implemented copy styles, they've implemented extend styles, a ton of different things that really make Divi a pleasure to work with on the front end. So kind of looking through here, we've got a lot of really interesting, intuitive things to use, and we're still only on the free version. Let me show you one or two other things here, and then we'll go into the Pro version and walk through some of the features on that style as well. So on the left here, you can see above the paintbrush is a reorder blocks section. And under this menu item, you're able to intuitively drag and drop your sections around to reorder them exactly the way that you want them. And if you, as you're going through, you realize, oh, maybe I told the story the wrong way of this web page, and this black section needs to go up top. Boom, there you go, it's up top. And then the entire site, it's extremely effortless to kind of move these things around using this format here. Similarly, you can exit out a section if you decided that section didn't make sense, and Control Z always works, so you're good there as well. You've got this mobile responsive viewer where you can change things around. You can also edit in mobile view as well as desktop. I have heard on their Facebook group and in their official blog they are planning on launching tablet mode as well, but truthfully, I think that between having a phone and a desktop view is probably enough. Sometimes there's just not that much of a difference when you're editing all three different versions of the display. I want to show you a feature here that I like a lot, and it has to do with how you align your images on the page builder. So if we look here, pay attention to the layout of this background image here, the MacBook and the little cappuccino there. So if I go to my settings and I want to look at the image behind it, let's just kind of hover over here, background. Okay, so this is super cool. And pay attention to what's happening here. So most page builders, you're probably familiar with having a top aligned, a center aligned, a right aligned, different kind of focal points where you can align things by lining it up on the edge of the image somehow. And Brizy has kind of simply solved that problem, because on different page sizes, on different browser sizes, if you go kind of half width or full width and all this other stuff, it can be very different how it looks. They've solved that problem simply using this amazingly intuitive tool where now you're changing the focal point to a literal point. And the focal point can be anywhere you want on the image. And what's going to happen is you can see they have made this a full width image. So you've got it from right to left there. But then within the top to bottom, that's being controlled by my mouse dragging around that blue icon, little dot there. So let's go ahead and save it at the top left. That would mean that this would be the most important part of the image, and no matter what device I am viewing it on, I want to make sure that I can see that part clearly. You can also add parallax as well if you choose to, but we're going to leave that alone. So now that we've done that, let's just take a look at this as well on mobile. And now, boom, perfect. So now you can see that I can see the spot where I set the focal image on, but I can't see all the things to the right. The coffee cup has disappeared. But let's go back to desktop where you can see everything, and now do that one more time just to kind of make the point known. So if I make let's say the iPhone is the focal point of the image. When I go to mobile, I've got the iPhone. And it's smart enough to know, okay, bottom align it. Bottom align the iPhone there. So anything that it can see within that frame is good to go. I think that is a very elegant way of solving a very real problem with web design. Okay, so I think we've kind of talked through the free version enough. Let's go ahead and go back to WordPress, and I'll notice something here. I never hit save. So because this is built on new technology, the saving is happening throughout the entire process, which is just a nice little touch. It's very nice to not have to worry if you're saving things every single time. And now I'm going to upload my Pro plugin that I am a paying member for and activate it. And here we go. So now let's go back to the exact same page. And here we go. So everything looks very similar at first, but it's not. So let's go ahead and add a blank block, for example. And it defaults to giving you 2 columns. I can go to the plus button here. And here's where you can see all the different icons that you can include. So add a button in. And what's kind of cool, you can add multiple buttons. I thought you were able to add it side by side, but I guess I was mistaken here. Add a different color here. Nice hover items. Let me show you this, which is pretty cool. So some page builders make it very clunky to adjust what happens when you do hover animations. And so here, it's not so bad. So the color I can set once. I'll set it to a dark blue. But you can see the hover icon is still maintaining what it was, which makes sense. All you do is go to the button and then say, sorry, let's go into the color. And here you can see background. Well, I thought I had it under control here, and then now I'm struggling. How was this? Colors, button. Okay, well, I take it back. It is a little bit confusing right now, unless I'm missing something very easy. How do you adjust the hover color? What am I doing wrong here? Not that it's a huge deal, but it's kind of bothering me that I had figured this out, and now it's looking different. Change it to a ghost icon, which is filled, radius, color. I'm wasting time here. We're going to go ahead and move on, but text and border. Oh, that's okay. I don't know why. I just couldn't notice here. So here you go. This is the default color, and then you go to the hover. Oh, golly, that was embarrassing. I can make it a lighter version of it. So now you have the hover color action. Sorry, guys, that was a waste of your time. I apologize. I want to give you that time back, but it is very intuitive to adjust things on the hover action as well. So you can see there, and you also have the button for the action for the button. You can go to the link and see if you want to have it send to a different section of the page, or you can actually have this button send you to the top. Let's just show you that. Let's go to preview. So I just set that button to bounce me to a different anchor point of the page, and there you go. It sends you up there very nicely. And you can see the hover items working as I would expect them to after struggling for way too long. Okay, last thing I want to show you. Let's show you some of the things with the Pro version, and let's add some global items here. So we can go to a posts section, and this will not be available for the free users, but it will be available for the Pro members. And so if you want to add like a blog post, dynamic content here, you can pull in a post module, and when you look at the details of it, you can have this little database looking icon here where you can show specific dynamic content. So obviously for a post title widget, you would want to show the featured image. You can also adjust any filters on top of the featured image. Now obviously this being a brand new WordPress install, you can't see a whole lot here, but you can kind of use your imagination. This is super cool. So you can actually decide to bold your post title or italicize it right off the bat. And it's just, you can change the alignment, all these things, but the content will still be the post title itself. If you go to the link, you can see it's going to send you, so you can make this into a link, which will send it to the post URL. So it's a very easy way of dealing with kind of a meta type of work, where on this read more button here, you wouldn't want to go through and figure out how to do this every single time of setting the post URL for every new post. So here you can very simply just send it to the post URL. It's honestly kind of weird to me why they even give you this option, because I don't know what else you would send them to. I mean, it seems like it's an obvious thing to do. But what you can do with this is you can decide whether you want the image itself to send them to the blog post or not. Again, I don't know why you would not send them to the post. So you actually have to set this to go to the post URL. Otherwise, it won't be a clickable link. So that's just a Brizy thing that we'll see if that sticks around. Let's take a look at some of these other features. You can add a map section in. If you wanted to do this for a business, obviously you can see all the benefits of doing it this way. And you can even go in and adjust, obviously, the address. So Jacksonville, Florida, which is where I'm coming from, and there you go. So pretty cool. What else is on here? Gallery, carousel, all these different things make a lot of sense. And then you can also add your short codes in. So if you want to embed, let's say, a Thrive leads opt-in, you can still do that. You just use the short code text here and you are good to go. So what are my first impressions of Brizy? Well, for one, I think it is probably the fastest page builder to make a decent looking page extremely quickly. When I say decent, I mean it would be great for any client work, for any page where you just want to get the point across. And with the use of those blocks, it makes it absolutely, couldn't be easier to do that. And what I want to show you real quick, because I'm just caught a thought here, let me go back in and show you something new here. So I'm now on the pro version, and so on the free version we were only able to see blocks, saved, and global, but just newly released is for pro versions you have this entire pages section where you can say I'm a sport website, and so now you see you have a full-blown yoga. It looks like it's all yoga. It's fine. So let's go ahead and pull this person doing some crazy handstand. And let me delete the other ones so you can see this page just the way that was meant to be. I'll delete the things we're messing around with. Here's the one we started from scratch. And here you go. So now you can see a fully ready to go page that you could use for client work. So pretty good looking page. So that's a new feature where, again, let's say this pink is not to your client's liking. Let's say their brand colors are like a highlighter green, and now that's been adjusted all throughout the page, which honestly looks really good. What you would have to do here, though, is also pay attention to the color on the hover and to see if it still made sense the way it was set up. So now I can adjust this. And now it makes more sense. Going to a black, maybe that still makes sense. You guys, you play with it how you want. So let me go back full screen here. So I think that Brizy is doing a lot of things right. I think they have a long road to go to where they can fully compete with the more matured page builders out there. So I think that at this point, if you wanted to make the investment, it would make sense, but I would also pay attention to when your money back guarantee is over. 30 days from when they go live with their pro version. If you are interested in signing up for Brizy and giving that a shot, you can use my affiliate link. It's incomemesh.com/Brizy. I'll put it in the description of this video below. And I really think that the pro version is going to bring some much needed functionality to it. So let's go ahead and walk through real quick what they're planning on having launched with the pro version. So as you can see here, that dynamic content of adding in the post URL. So all those post widgets will not be available on the free version. They'll only be on the pro version. Premium designs, that was what I showed you, pulling an entire web page. And they're going to be launching more and more of those pages over time. Headers and footers is something that I think is launched, but I haven't played around with it a whole lot, so I won't go into it with this review. But the idea being you can essentially design the majority of your theme with that same beautiful user interface there. Third-party integration, this is something that's a must-have. It's going to be really hard to justify using Brizy if it doesn't integrate with your email marketing platform. So I think the pro version is going to make sense if you want to go at this at all. Pop-up builder, that is something I could show you, but this video is kind of running on a little bit long here, so we'll skip over it. But what's nice about it is right there from the screen, you can build yourself a pop-up where you can put with the forms in exactly how you like them, and it works really, really well. And just kind of skipping through here, A/B testing. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm a really big fan of doing split testing and getting better conversions, conversion optimization. So that's something I'm very excited to see how they implement it, because there's multiple ways you can go with it. And by the way, if you're interested in split testing, if you want, I have a brand new free course called Conversion Rate Optimization that takes you through split testing from soup to nuts and helps you increase your own conversions. So if you want to, you can click on the link in the description below. That'll send you over to that brand new free course. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope this was a helpful video. Leave in the comments what you think about Brizy, if they're on the right track, or if they are, ever to be behind these big behemoths with Divi and with Elementor and with Beaver and Thrive and all the other ones that are cropping up almost daily. Personally, I'm a big fan. I think they're not there yet, but I think they've got the right team of developers behind them, and they're launching updates very, very frequently and aggressively. So again, leave a comment in the description below. And if you've enjoyed these videos and want to learn more about ways you can increase your conversions and your income online, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I launch my next video. All right, guys, till next time, take care.